Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Mhm. Hello, guys. Coming. Let's start. Mhm. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, good. Hello. God, I look so stressed. I just want us to chat like coming, guys. Let's chat. Let's connect. Chat. Get to know each other. Talk about something very important. Guys, let's chat. I don't know what is happening to my tripod today. Like, I've been trying since morning to get this face, but it's not happening. Coming, guys. Let's chat. Let's chat. Let's chat. Let's chat. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about something very important. Come in. Come in. Come in, guys. Meet new friends. Chat. Connect. Mhm. Let me get something. Hello. Thank you, Osamu Diame Omo. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Please give me a thumbs up as you're joining. Thank you. Good afternoon. Oh, thank you, Six. Thank you. Good afternoon. How are you doing? How is the family? Hello, guys. Come in. Please, as you're coming in, give me a thumbs up. Now, today we want to discuss something very important, and it has to be all right, sis. That's good to know that you people are fine. Thank you very much for joining. Today, I want us to discuss about something important. Hello, my sweet friend Judith. Hello. Thank you for always coming to support me. Thank you. Remember, I've not forgotten, okay? Hello, Code with Samuel. Thank you very much. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys, for joining. Please, as you're joining me, just give me a thumbs up, all right? And share me out if you can. All right. Today I want to thank you, sweet. Thank you, Judith. Thank you very much. I want us to discuss something very important today. Like, times I get so scared. Like, no. KC is Kosarachi. KC is Kosarachi. Is Kosarachi, not Kelechi. KC is Kosarachi. Yes, Kelechi is also KC. Then Kosarachi is also KC. So fam, I'm a mom of one. And sometimes I get so scared considering what the world is turning into. Let me use that, okay? It's so scary. Sometimes when you read some things on social media, you feel like, God, what is happening? And when I look at my baby, I just tell myself, I want to be a good mom, the best mom to my daughter, to my unborn kids. Now, what are the steps or what steps do I need to take to achieve this? And this brings us to the topic of today, sex education. Hello, Chief Family Vlog. Thank you, sister. Thank you. I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mega love shout out to you. Please, if there is anyone you don't have, please try and connect with the person, okay? Connect with anyone you do not have, all right? Please connect. That's the essence of this live stream so that we can grow together. Like I always say, YouTube is a whole journey, a whole big journey. Like we just need each other to grow, all right? So connect with anyone you don't have. Now back to what I'm saying. I just want to be a good mom to my child, to my daughter, and to my unborn kids. And I've asked myself, what are the steps? What are the things I need to do to achieve this? What are the things I need to do to um be a good mom to my child or to my unborn kids? And this brings me to the topic of sex education. Do you think parents are doing enough when it comes to sex educating their kids? At what age do you think parents should start? I'm not going to be using the word sex much. I'm going to just cut it to sex educating. So, at what age do you think parents should start sex educating their kids? Do you think we are doing much in that sense, like educating our kids in the right way? Why I brought up this topic is that I tried talking about it some time ago, but network wasn't my friend that day, and I gave an instance where I had visitors that came visiting, and the lady actually brought her kids along and then dropped them and went to somewhere. And when she was leaving, she told me, see, please don't allow them to watch so and so movies and all that. And it got me thinking that I had to ask her, have you educated these kids? And she just, hurriedly told me that when you educate them, remember I said I'm not going to be using the right word here because of YouTube policy and all that. So she said, when you educate them, it will make them to start thinking towards, how did she put it? You kind of make them to start thinking, towards practicing it or something of that nature. That was how she, said that. And it got me thinking, how many of such parents outside have this mentality that when you educate your child, it makes the child to start thinking towards practicing what you have taught him or her. And then this notion that education should be for ladies or girls only, the girl child, like when it comes to education, parents tend to kind of think about the girl child only. Does it mean that? Hello. Welcome, Pinky. Welcome. Please connect with anyone you do not have. Please connect and give me a thumbs up as you're joining. All right. Do you think it should be centered on the girl child only? All right. Do you think it should be all about because when you talk about education, what parents think about is the girl child. Nobody is kind of thinking more of the boy's child. They always feel, oh, you should be protective of the girl child. Now, I'm not saying you should not be protective of the girl child, considering that they are very fragile. Should I use that word? Yeah. Okay. Now, but do you think it should be centered on them alone? I've read stories on social media where boy child is also molested and all that. Do you think we are doing enough as parents, as parents to our child or to any kids around us? Do you think we are doing a lot to it? Like a lady shared her story about, she has two daughters. One is age 3 and the other one is age 5. And she started teaching them about sex education at a very tender age. She made them to understand the fact that their body is theirs and no one is permitted to kind of touch it and all that. And one of those days, she said she needed to go get something outside and she left the kid, and the younger one, age 3, pulled and was crying, "Mommy, please come and clean me up." And she wasn't around, and the neighbor offered to help. Okay. All right. Cassie said, as the world is today, it's better parents teach their child on time before the world teach them roughly. Exactly, sister. Exactly. And then Colby Sam said, you don't teach them at a tender age. All right. Okay, so back to my story. She said the baby was crying and the neighbor offered to help clean the baby up, and the baby started shouting. She was screaming, like she was shouting, "No, my mama said nobody should touch my bum bum," and she came back, and the neighbor kind of came to complain to the woman that, okay, you left your child, and when she pulled, rather, I decided to help, and she was shouting. And in front of the neighbor, the lady supported the child that, yes, this is your bum bum. No one has the right to touch your bum bum. It's for you and you alone. And the man got, angry. And according to the lady, she said she later went to apologize to the neighbor and explain to him why she did what she did. All right, what she said, Okay. Now, I feel that at toddler, you should start teaching your child as education. Now, don't get me wrong. As education is in stages. I mean, you cannot just get a girl of 3 years and you start saying, don't do this or don't do that. Or, no. Stage by stage. At that toddler, make them to be kind of, let them be aware of their gender. Let them be aware that I'm a girl, I'm a boy. All right. At that stage, you find out that at even toddler, all right, you find out that they tend to kind of play with their organs, or rather their parts. Okay. For instance, you will see mama and kids, hello sis, welcome. Please, as you're joining, give me a thumbs up. Hello, welcome. You find out that at that age, especially the male child, you find that they start playing with their penis. Okay, you see them playing with it. Sometimes it gets erected. See, it's just for the child. It's not attached to any sexual stuff. Okay, for the boy child, they experience this from time to time, and it's normal. All right, it's not for any sexual thing or stuff. All right, but then I feel that parents should start at a very tender age to teach their child, to educate their child. As education, I believe, should be a gradual thing. It's not something you just do once. It's not something you sit a child once and talk about. It's something you do gradually, step by step. As the child understanding grows, you bring in more things, putting the child age and level of understanding in consideration. I just believe that is something that should be done step by step. All right, like someone said, Cassie said, he said, if you do not teach them, the world will teach them. Like, yes, if you don't teach your child, if you don't educate your child, you have that fear of when you educate the child will tend to start practicing or thinking of practicing it. The truth is that the world will teach that child, but I'm sorry, they will teach the child in the wrong way. Okay, they would teach the child in the wrong way. At the tender age, let the child be aware of his or her gender, of the body parts, okay? And at that age 3 to 5, just make them aware of the fact that this is their body. They alone have right to it. No one is permitted to touch it. Because the truth is that when you read some things that are happening in social media, or you are in the medical line and then you see so many things happening, every day you'll be like God. You become scared. Okay? It's no longer like before where you have things being done in the right way. Now I don't know what is happening. Pedophiles everywhere, people finding kids more, I don't know if you're getting me, they find kids more attractive than, an adult and all that. So I just believe that if we don't take the right step, all right, by teaching our children the right thing, the world will teach them. But the truth is, I cannot guarantee you that it will be the right way. They will definitely teach them in the wrong way. So that thing you're hiding, that thing you're avoiding, Nigerian parents, I'm so sorry to say this, they're fond of, they are conscious of the kind of movie the child is watching. I am okay with that, all right. But then don't just be conscious of the movie the child is watching and the friends that the child mingle with. Ask yourself, have I really taught this child as education the wrong way? When as education is taught the right way, all right, the child will not think of practicing it, because everything you tell the child the repercussion of it. So I do not believe that when you educate a child, that child will start thinking of practicing it or something. All right. Hi, sis. Hi, sis. Please, if you don't have anyone, connect with anyone you don't have. Please connect with anyone you don't have. Almost said teaching them early doesn't mean teaching the child how to have sex. As exactly sis, it doesn't mean that way. It doesn't mean that way. Okay. And then what are the ways to teach your child as education? Like I watched a Nigerian movie where the mom was like, if a man cross you, you're pregnant. And in that movie, it happened that there is this classmate of the girl that came one day to the shop. The mom actually sells all those provision stuff. So the boy came and the girl was sitting like stretched out her legs, and the guy kind of crossed the girl, and she started crying. Oh, you have killed me, blah 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 blah. And she told the mom, she went home and told the mom that she's pregnant. That's the funny aspect of it, or I just understand the fact that it's movie. They did not even hello Patrick Lovett, hello. Thank you, Chi Family Vlog. Thank you. Please connect with anyone you don't have. Hello, Mandy Freeze. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Thumbs up done. Thank you, sis. Please, if you are joining me, just give me a thumbs up. Thank you. And please share me out if you can. Thank you. Or please connect with anyone you don't have. So far, back to what I was saying, and they didn't even bother to run a pregnancy test to find out if she's pregnant or not, and they started working on that. It was later on, the mother of the girl went and accused the boy of, impregnating the daughter, and the mother of the boy, being a learned person, kind of asked the woman, how did you know your daughter is pregnant? All right. And she said she could not explain. All right. And when they started kind of trying to find out how the girl noticed she's pregnant or not, that the mother of the boy had to run a pregnant. Oh, thank you very much, Mandy Freeze. Thank you for sharing me out. God bless you. God bless you, sis. I'm so grateful. Thank you very much. So the mother of the boy find out that the girl is not pregnant, but wanted to know how the girl got to that idea of she being pregnant. And later on, the girl explained. It was such a shame to the mother of the girl because she could not really Sit down. Thank you very much, sis. I can see it. Thank you for sharing me out. I'm grateful. Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you very much. I'm grateful. So the mother of the, it was such a shame to the mother of the girl because she could not actually sit down, even while the younger sister was telling her, teach this girl as education. Like I said, if you're joining us, I said I'm not going to be mentioning the right word because of YouTube policy and all that. So even while the younger sister was saying, teach this girl the right thing, the right way, and all that, she was just like, no, if you teach her this, she's going to do this, she's going to do that, and she's going to do that. And fam, that was it. All right. So let's learn. If you have a child, learn to teach that child as education from tender age. It doesn't mean you bring it, you teach the child based on the child's understanding. All right. You teach based on the child's understanding. You cannot get a girl of 3 years and you start teaching the child about, female reproductive organ or whatever, how fertilization and whatever takes place. No, you don't do that because that child will not even understand what you're saying. In fact, to the child, you are just making noise. Okay? And then at the age of 5 years to 6 years, this child is aware of everything. See, at this age, I normally tell them, whatever you did not teach a child from age of 6 years to 9 years is corrective. How do I mean? If you don't teach a child from age of 6 years to 9 years about S education, that child would have gotten prior knowledge either from peer group, either from movies, from books. Somehow that child would have gotten knowledge of it from somewhere. So anything you didn't teach a child about S education from 6 years to 9 years is just corrective. You're just correcting. After anything you teach that child after 9 years is just corrective. You're just correcting. And at that time, you might not achieve the real thing. You might not achieve what you want at that time because that child has gotten prior knowledge. And like Cassie Kitchen said, if you don't teach that child, another person will teach the child, and trust me, in the wrong way. That's the truth. There's no two ways about it. The world is so funny right now that no one is teaching your child the right thing. Pedophiles everywhere. You hear this story today, you hear that story today. Today is this person molesting a child, the other is another. I think you get so scared. There was a child they brought, a baby girl they brought. Sometimes I don't like talking about that child. If you see how this devil in human form, if you see how this person dealt with this girl, like, and God, talking about this girl now is just bringing memory back. Like I'm kind of remembering everything. And the funny part of it is that even while the doctor was asking the mother, the father, what happened, they were trying to cover up until the doctor threatened them that he was going to lock them up before they told them that it was the girl's uncle that had his way on a 3-year-old girl. Sometimes when you see something is happening to some people, you will not know where it's coming from. You will just think the normal way, the normal thing we say, you will just think is village people. Sometimes it's not village people. Like we Nigerians say, we say village people. 3 years old, they had to start suturing, imagine a big man penetrating a 3-year-old child. A man in his 30s penetrating a 3-year-old child. He basically scattered the genital area of that girl. Like, I could not stand it. I couldn't stand it. I could not stand. I walked out of that place where we were suturing the girl. Like, it was as if I am no longer, it was as if I'm not a nurse. It was as if I could not stand it, because when I saw that girl, okay, I was imagining my own little 1 year baby. I was like, as in, I was crying. I left that place, I was shedding tears, and my matron was like, "What is it?" I said, "Ma, I can't stand it. I can't go to that place. It's better you are experiencing a surgical procedure being carried out on someone than you imagining what led to that particular thing, why the girl was even brought in the hospital in the first place. That's how terrible humans are." And I got so angry because the parents of the girl were even trying to cover up for the uncle. Seriously, I left that place, and till I left that particular hospital, I was every day it was just about that girl, like, you know, the picture, the scenario, everything, how that little girl was crying and everything. So please, as parents, let's teach our child, teach them how to scream. You see all these small uncles that will come around and start calling your girl child of how many years my wife. Don't try it with my daughter. In fact, I will shun you immediately. Don't accept it. My wife, come let me carry you. Don't accept. Now small they use start. Let me use that word. They will come in form of uncles, all those arana. If you're not Igbo, arana uncles, wicked uncles. They will come in form of uncles. Imagine a grown-up man will be calling a girl of 3 years my wife. If you call my daughter your wife, I will shun you immediately. That's the truth. Don't accept it. Don't accept. That is how it starts. That is my sister will not be now small, all those small uncles. Exactly. I've told them that my son is nobody's husband. He's nobody's husband. I don't take those shits. If you talk, they will say you are being overprotective of your child. You are doing this, because that child is still a minor. He doesn't even understand anything. So if you don't protect the child, who will? When my child gets to the age of, teen and all that, I will know that, yes, at this point, as a mother, I will advise you understand, correct, and all that. But at this tender age, I am protective. Oh. Yes, I am so protective. Because the world is mad right now. Let me use that. Things that are happening, sometimes you open your mouth and close, and you read some things and you feel like, wow, for real. If you don't have me, visit me. I will return tomorrow. Yes, please, if you don't have anyone, please visit and they will return. Please visit. Mama and kids say thunder fire devil for that uncle. My dear, the world is mad now. I don't know how a grown-up man will find a little child attractive. It's so funny. It's mad at the same time, all right? It's so mad at the same time. Please, the essence of this video is for us to connect with each other and also kind of connect with friends and all the rest of them, all right? Now, this is the first part of this live stream. Yesterday, I was saying something about me sharing my story of how my 5 years relationship ended 2 weeks to my traditional wedding, and so many people were interested in that story. So now, if you know you want to hear that story, if you know you want me to gist you all that happened, please just say I am ready to hear the story and we'll start. Just tell me you're ready to hear my story. just type it, just drop a comment, then you're ready to hear the story of how my 5 years relationship ended 2 weeks to my traditional wedding. Yes, Josie said, yes, so we are here for it. Ever ready? Who is also ready for that gist? Who is also ready for that gist? If you're ready, if you can share me out. Hello, Carol. Hello, welcome. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you. Please, if you're ready, if I get two more, and I will start. If you're ready, just tell me you're ready to hear my story, and then we'll start. All right, just two people. I need two more, and then we'll start. Thank you for joining me. Please, as you're joining me, just give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up as you're joining me. And if you're ready for the story, just type I am ready or ever ready. And if you have up to 1,000 subscribers, please share me out. Let other people join. Let's go. Mama and kids say, let's go. All right, fam. Good afternoon, everyone. Or good evening is around 4 o'clock. After 4 in this place. All right, guys. Let's start. Please share me out if you can. Please share me out if you can. All right, and connect with others. Connect with anyone you don't have. Connect with anyone you don't have. Connect with anyone you don't have. Connect. Connect with anyone you don't have. I'm still here, just trying to share the life out. All right, connect with anyone you don't have. Please visit me. All right, I will connect. Josie, I will visit you now, please. Please, all right. Just connect with anyone. If you're joining, just give me a thumbs up. And if you're ready for the story, just tell me I am ready and we'll start. All right. So, fam. Oh, thank you, Mama and Keys. Thank you. You're a darling. Thank you. God bless you. I appreciate. Thank you. Please, if you have up to 1,000, even as now, I've seen people with less than 1,000 subscribers. You can share me out. The community for 500 subscribers and above is open. Please share me out. Please. Thank you, Mama and kids. Thank you very much. Okay, fam. About my 5 years relationship ending 2 weeks to my traditional wedding. If you watch yesterday, I think I did a live video yesterday where I talked about questions that people should not ask because you don't know what that person is going through at that particular time. And I gave instance of me going through a heartbreak from relationship of 5 years that ended close 2 weeks to my supposed traditional wedding, and how two ladies saw me and were like, when am I getting married? Or they were like, Auntie Nurse, are you married? Or are you not married? I can't even remember how they framed that question. But as of then, I was battling with a lot. And that question kind of took me back. Please visit anyone you don't have. All right. Visit. Thank you, fam. Just visit anyone you don't have. Visit anyone you don't have. Visit anyone you don't have. All right. So 2 weeks to my supposed traditional wedding, and it was so painful. Like, it was that moment of my life that I didn't know I would be here today. Because you could imagine a 5 years relationship, you know, ending 2 weeks to the wedding. And, people have been informed, people are aware of the fact that there is something coming up, preparations and all that were ongoing, and boom, Oga just said he's no longer interested in the relationship and all that. At that point of my life, it was as if, let me just end it all. It was painful. It was the moment I feel like, are you sure I'm going to survive this? I don't know. My network is so funny today. I don't understand what is happening. This network is funny. Please, if you can hear me, just let me know you can hear me. I don't know what is happening. If you can hear me, please tell me you can hear me. Let me continue. If you can hear me, just say I can hear you so that I will continue, please. I don't know what's happening. The network is funny. Just tell me you can hear me. Let's continue. My network is really bad. It's really, really bad. Really, really bad network today. I don't know. If you can hear, okay, okay, okay. All right. All right. Carol says she can hear me. All right. It was that point of my life where I just wanted it to, end it all. Like, I didn't ever think of committing um suicide. Okay, I didn't think of it. Far from it. I never thought of it. But I became withdrew to self. If others were existing, I didn't know. All right. And it happened this way. I met this guy while I was in school. Like, it was my second month in school of nursing when I met him. And then we talked, and one thing led to the other, and we became friends. And from there, things continued. We were okay. As of the time I met this person, he was just squatting with a friend. It was that bad, okay? And then when I mean squatting with a friend, he was squatting with a friend that practically pays the whole bill. Like, it's that kind of squatting that the friend can wake up one morning and say, you know what, I don't want to stay in my house again. And he leaves. But I was not considering that fact because I saw him as someone who is so determined to make the best out of his life. So I just saw someone who has a vision, and not just, sitting down and saying, I want this, I want that, but actually working towards it. So we continued the relationship, and things started getting better. I think then he used to say I'm his lucky charm or whatever. Things started getting better from squatting with someone where he was not even able to pay for water, talk more of light bills and all that. He was able to rent his own one-room self-contained. And from there, business became okay. At least he was making money, paying his bills himself and all that. Few months, I think a year into the relationship, as of this time, like I said, things were already okay with him. He was already making money to the point of renting a one-room self-contained, footing his bills and all that. 1 year into the relationship, he called me and told me that he wanted traveling out. I advised him. I said, things are already getting better for you, so why don't you just stick to what you have, grow what you have, and before you know it, it will become something. He listened to me at that first time. And then after 1 year again, he came up with that idea of traveling out, that someone was going to help him with job in Dubai and all that. Okay. I said, let me not be like I'm a stumbling block to someone's future or blessing. I said, fine. If you feel that you traveling to Dubai will better your life, you feel that traveling to Dubai for greener pasture will better your life, that's okay. Travel. But don't sell the things you have. Like, don't rent your house out. Since you have a brother, let your brother be staying in the house, so that anytime at all you come to Nigeria, you see where to stay and all that. So he didn't sell the properties he had in his house. He left for Dubai. I think he left for Dubai October of that same year. This was the 3rd year into the relationship. He left for Dubai the October of that year, and by the February of the following year, he was already telling me that he's coming back to Nigeria, that things are no longer working the way he wants. Like, he doesn't want, and he had just few months to stay, or they are going to deport him and all that. I said, okay, instead of you to stay there and wait for them to deport you, okay, why don't you just kind of come back? All right, don't spoil your international passport, just come back and start all over again. So he listened to me. He came back to Nigeria, but didn't move to his base. That is Abuja. He relocated to another place, Benue State precisely. And I was still telling him, I said, see, you don't have anyone in Benue. You've never lived in Benue. So it doesn't make sense you coming back and then going to Benue to stay. Why don't you come back to where they know you, or you already have some people that do buy goods from you? At least if you decide to start again, you will see people that will buy from you. He said he doesn't want people to laugh at him, that people were going to laugh at him if he comes back to the base. They will say he went there to waste his time and came back. I had to advise him. I told him what my mom usually said. He said, my mom usually said that if people don't laugh at you, they will cry because of you. And this invariably means that if you're living a life of pretense, covering up, okay, that life of pretense, because you don't want people to laugh at you, that life of pretense will lead you into trouble that will result people crying like crying and saying, oh, look at what happened to this person, or look at what happened to that person. So I told him, come back to your base. This is where you've already built connection and all that. After much talk for some months, he decided to come back to his base. He came back to his base and he told me, okay, I'm back to my base now. What else do you want me to do? Blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, welcome back. You have some properties that you didn't sell when you were traveling out. Why don't you sell out those things? I say, a man that with a vision, a man who has you cannot be hungry and you have television. That's what I told him, that you can't be hungry and you have television. Television is not going to feed you. You cannot be hungry and you have a big home theater. It's not going to feed you. You can't be hungry and you have this and that. But before he came back to his base, as of the time he came back to his base, rather when he was still in that Benue state, I've rounded up with School of Nursing. I started with School of Nursing before going for BSc. So I've rounded up with School of Nursing as of that time, but was still looking for a job, the Nigerian thing. If I got so frustrated, let me just tell you, I looked for a job for only 1 month. But that 1 month was hell for me, because I already built this mentality that, once you are a nurse, you don't look, once you're in the medical line, you don't look for a job. Job is just waiting for you. So it was frustrating for me to finish school and still look for job, because I already built that mentality that I see, if you're in the medical line, job is waiting for you. You don't need to look for job and all that. So being my kind of person, I'm that kind of person that don't know how to say give me. I don't know how to beg. Like, it's very difficult for me to beg. I just believe I should work and, get something. And that was why it was so frustrating, because I needed things. I needed to pay some bills. I needed things for myself, but I couldn't get it because I wasn't working. And it was not easy for me to call my parents or my brothers who kind of spent all to see me through a private school of nursing. So it was not easy for me to still go back to them, and after they have suffered and everything to train me, I'll still go back to them and start depending on them to give me money for this or give me money for that. So I decided to start a thrift business, popularly called OK Business. So in Kano, they have this thrift market. I went there. I would normally go to that market, buy some nice clothing, all that, and then I will go back to my school where I finished from, and I will go there and sell. Okay. When I go there and sell, at a point he will tell me he doesn't have money to eat. When I finish selling, let's say I realize like 5,000 naira as gain, because I was making good money then. All right, I was getting good stuff, and then I would go back there. Students, buying cheap things and fine things was just the dream. So I'll go back to that place, and then I will sell, I'll make gain, and then I will divide the money. That was before I started advising him to come back. I will divide the gain I make, not my capital, the gain, and then I will send to him to eat. Yes, that was how bad it was. Money for food for him was a problem. And I would divide the gain money from the gain, whatever I realized as my gain from the sales, I would divide it. And it got to a point that I told him, after some months, I told him, I say, I can't be doing this anymore. Come back to your base and do something. Stop saying you are shy, you're thinking of what people will say. See, as far as you are living, people will talk about you. That's just the truth. So come back to your base and start up something. After much conviction, he decided to come back, and he sold off. I told him to sell off everything he has. Just leave an empty bed where you can lay your head, but sell off other things in the house. And thank God he's this kind of person that has this, he's this kind of person that when he wants to buy something, he doesn't go for the cheaper thing. So the properties he had before he left were actually good and very expensive. But when you want to resell things in Nigeria, I don't know of other parts, when you want to resell things, you'll be so surprised that something you bought for 100,000 naira, somebody will be telling you 5,000. That is how bad it is. So at that time, he was able to sell off the things he had in the house, the fridge, the TV, whatever, everything in the house. He sold it aside the bed and the kitchen stuff. Okay. So when he finished selling it, he called me. So, okay, madam, you said I should sell those things, and I've sold them, and this is what I realized from it. I'm this kind of person that I have always had this belief that givers never lack, especially when you give to the right people. Yes, because some of us give to the wrong people. You cannot see someone who is rich and you have that your brother who is still looking for where he will get money for food for that day. You will not give him. You will go and give to a rich man. It will be useless to that rich man because he already have enough. So I told him, I saying, take money out of there. I'm not saying you should go and give to your pastor. Take 10% out of whatever you realize from the sales, and just look for someone. It could be a man, it could be a widow, it could be, a family, whoever. Just look for someone who don't know where the next meal for that day will come from, and just give the person the money. The person will pray for you. The joy that that person has receiving that money from you, we provoke him to bless you more. So far, he listened to me, and he kind of gave out 10% of what he realized from the sales of the property to a widow who didn't have anything to eat and all that. So I said, okay, now the remaining money, you have to travel to Lagos with the remaining money. Like travel and make connection, all right? Like connect with someone who at least, even if it's 100,000 naira you have, you can tell the person to kind of sell goods of 120,000 naira to you and make sure you pay back. Like if the person can send goods of 120,000 naira to you, and if you promise to pay the person the remaining 20,000 naira in a week, please make sure you pay back in a week. That is how you build connection and contact, and the person will trust you and even send you goods, and you will send the money back, and from there you can be realizing something, all right, to add to your own capital. So he traveled to Lagos to buy goods, and he came back. He made connection, obviously, came back and started business. See, guys, like I said, things became okay. All right. Things became so okay for him that you know things became so okay for him, and we are still communicating fine. He was still getting across to, like, telling me, okay, at this point he has already proposed, but I was like, Oga, see, face your business first, okay? Don't talk about, I've accepted, I will marry you, but for now, focus on building your business first, all right? Don't use the little capital you have now and put in marriage, and later on it will be another thing. So he listened to me, we continue, we are still in contact with each other, and everything was just okay. If you make sales of 10 naira in a day, he would tell me he makes sales of 10 naira in a day. That was how good the connection was. And then if he's want to order for goods, and in fact, I practically knew how much he had in his account. That was how the connection was. But I have never for one day asked for PIN, okay? Because at this point, I've already gained employment. So I was also getting my own money. I was also taking care of myself while he was building his business. So about 8 months into the business, things turned around for good. Like, someone that was living in a room self-contained moved to flats. And you know what? How much a flat costs in Abuja? Bought a very good car. I was so happy. Like, I felt I was building my own home. I felt so. And he gave me the impression that, yes, we are together, obviously. So that was when the problem started. When they said the true test of a man is when he has everything, and the true test of a woman is when a man has nothing. I believe that so much, because that was when the problem started. The first problem was him waking up one morning to call me and say, oh, his mom said he wants him to get married to a very fair-skinned lady. I mean, it was so funny to me. I say, your mom wants you to get married. My lips are dry. Your mom wants you to get married to a very fair-skinned lady. He said yes. I said, okay. As you can see my skin color. I don't know if this phone is in. I cannot use chemical and peel my skin now, so that I'll become a very fair-skinned lady. This is how my skin is. This is how my complexion is. And I will not peel my skin just to prove, or just to kind of get anyone to marry me. All right. If I am going to bleach my skin, let it be something that I'm doing for myself, not something I'm doing to please someone to marry me. We battled that. He said he was going to talk to the mom, blah, 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 blah. That one ended. Now, at this point, I've started noticing changes, okay? This is someone who will usually call me for like how many times a day, like call me severally. At this point, sometimes a whole day he won't call. If I don't call, he won't call. All right? Sometimes we just call and we'll talk. And I wasn't seeing that connection anymore. I was just seeing a very different person from the person I thought I fell in love with. So far, we battled with the issue of him telling me that the mom wants him to get married to a very fair-skinned lady. If you're joining me, please give me a thumbs up, okay? If you're joining me and connect with others, please connect with others. So at that point, he said, we were able to like battle the issue of the mom wanting him to get married to a very fair-skinned lady. And he told me he was going to talk to the mom and all that. I said, okay, if you want to talk to your mom, please talk to your mom. But as for me, you've seen my skin. I don't know what else to do. I can't go and pay my skin just to be very light skinned and all that. So that one ended. We continued. I started hearing stories here and there about how he's going out with different women, blah, 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 blah. I'm that kind of person that I'm so sorry. When I trust in relationship, I just trust. Okay. I'm not that kind of person that I don't know. I don't know if it's a problem or if it's good, but I don't listen to gossips when it comes to my relationship. You can't just come and tell me that you saw so and so person with this person and all that. I need to see with my eyes, all right? And I don't kind of chase men. I will chase the man around just to dig out something. Likewise, I don't like dealing with phones. I think since we started dating, I've never like picked his phone and start searching through and all that. So because we're in a different state, I was hearing different stories. In fact, sometimes some of his friends will even call me and like, we know how good you are, but want you to just be careful so that somebody's property will not become another person's property. Will know what you and this guy has been through and all that. But I guess I was madly in love. Let me use that. I guess I was madly in love that I could not see the red flag. I couldn't see it. I was just in love, to me. That one aside. After that part of the mom wanting him to get married to a very light-skinned lady, as if we settled the problem, another problem came. And that was the problem of the mom again. See, I am not here to talk about the mom. I can't even guarantee you that what he said about the mom is true because I am not there. And sometimes some people can be very funny. They won't come out to tell you their mind. They will be using another person to make excuses. So I cannot sit here and tell you, oh, the mom this or the mom that, but that was what he said. So fam, after that, he told me that the mom went to meet a pastor and the pastor said, I am not going to be submissive to him when he finally gets married to me. And I asked him, at this point, we were at our 4th year of marriage. And I asked, 4th year of relationship rather. And I asked him, I said, for 4 years, we've been dating. I mean, no matter how I try to cover up, hide, and all that, you would have seen the other part of me, even no matter how small. So for these 4 years, if someone comes to you and said, I will not be submissive or whatever, that is, I don't even know your definition of submissive, but if someone comes to tell you that I won't be submissive to you, will you believe the person? He said no. And that was what he said. When some of these people, when they want to walk away from the relationship, instead of them to come out plain and say, see, I'm no longer interested in this relationship, let's call it a peace and all that, they will start looking for stories. They'll start looking for who to jam heads together. And this one was really playing a game of mom said and mom said and mom said. So we battled that. But I wasn't seeing the connection again in this relationship. I wasn't. I wasn't. I wasn't. So September of that year, I think before that he called me. I was like he was coming for introduction, and all that. That I come to see my parents, come to see my elder brother, and all that. Since my dad um is no longer alive, so he came to see my most elder brother, and they discussed and all that, kind of introduction thing and all that. They discussed, talked about everything, fixed the dates and all that. He told my brother how he was coming to do everything at the same time. He doesn't want to go and come back, considering the fact that the states and his base and all that, that he wanted to do everything at once. Okay. All right. This person said, Mama, done in your house. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you very much, sis. Thank you. So he was like, he wanted to do everything at once. He didn't want, to do like in Igbo land, you find out that you can decide to, come for introduction, then come for this, come for that. But him, he wanted everything to be done at once so that he will be able to come back to his base and will feast the white wedding. See, sis, let me tell you the truth. When you want to get married to someone, you don't need a pastor to pray and tell you that this is your husband or this is your wife. Pray. Trust me, God will answer you. Don't go and put yourself in this confusion. This man of God will tell you he's the one. The other man of God will tell you that he's not the one. So don't put yourself in that state where you become confused. Pray about it and trust me, God will reveal something to you. My sister, he was really mommy's son. He was really mommy's son. He was really mommy's son. Marrying such a person, But to be frank with you, I cannot really sit here and tell you that the mom was the one saying all those things. That's the truth. Because, some people can be very funny. Some people can be very funny. Instead of them to come out and say, see, I'm no longer interested in this relationship, or I'm no longer ready to get married to you, they will start looking for someone to kind of make you believe that this is the person that is stopping them, okay? Or this is the person that wants to bring asunder. So I can't really say the mom was actually playing that role, okay? But then, he was always mentioning the mom this, the mom that, and the mom this. So fam, at this point, like I said earlier, I wasn't seeing the connection. I wasn't. And each time in fact, the day he came, my elder brother is someone who doesn't easily talk, anyhow about anybody. But when he left, my brother wasn't comfortable. But he told me one thing. He said, if you're happy with this person, fine. I'm not going to stand against it. But there is something about this person that is not adding up. That was what he told me. And I sat down and I thought about what my elder brother said. Because he's this kind of person that he doesn't interfere. Like, he's that, like, he doesn't interfere. He will only advise you. But for him to come out and tell me that he's not seeing, you understand? My sister, I thank God for that. That was a huge deliverance. That was a huge deliverance. I just thank God I didn't, to be frank. I thank God I didn't. So my brother was like, he wasn't comfortable, that there was something about him that wasn't adding up and all that. But then if I feel that this is someone I want to spend the rest of my life with, that he's okay with it. Remember, as of this time, I've told you that I've been receiving calls here and there and all that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, oh, I'm a saint or he's the bad person and all that. But I just felt that God was just delivering me, like he delivered me from. It's not until you go to a church and a pastor lay hand on you and then you scream and fall, that is deliverance. No. Sometimes God delivers us in a miraculous way that we don't need a pastor. Okay? So I told my auntie about it and she advised me. She said something. She said, pray about it. You don't need anyone to pray for you. Pray about it. So I started praying about it because as of this time, the wedding was about a month or 2 months rather, because that wedding was supposed to take place. The traditional wedding was supposed to take place, and everything was supposed to take place on the 15th of January of that year, of the next year. And then he came to see they came for the introduction around September or October or so. And after everything, a date was fixed and everything, all the arrangements and all the rest of them was done, and a date was fixed. Now, the traditional wedding was supposed to be a kind of, if you're in Igbo land, you understand this traditional wedding where you might decide that you don't want it big. You don't want to. I told him, I said, I don't want a very elaborate traditional wedding. I just wanted something small, family and all that. But then the wedding, you can do it, the white wedding, you can do it as you want. But for this, I just want a calm thing and all that. So let's reserve all the money for the boom, 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 boom for the white wedding. That was what I told him. So the date was fixed and everything was fixed and all that. We've actually even fixed dates where I'll travel from Kano to his base, and then from there we'll travel together and all that. We've already fixed dates for that. So I started praying, let's say a month and a half or 2 months to the set time, and I was fasting and praying, to be frank with you. And on this particular day, I I was in my auntie's place and I wanted to break my fast. Okay, so she told me that she would let her make, what will I eat? I said I don't want anything swallow food or stuff. Then I wanted noodles. And she said, okay, let her make the noodles for me and all that. So you can imagine how many minutes it takes to make noodles. All right. So while she was making the noodles, I was praying, and while she went to make the noodles in the kitchen, I started praying, and I didn't even know what happened next. I just saw myself in his sitting room, all right? And in that sitting room, I was testing a wedding gown. So I had several wedding gowns there that I needed to test to see the one that would fit me more, all right? And sorry. Okay. I had several wedding gowns that I needed to test to see the one that will fit me more. So I was testing it, and while on it, a heavily pregnant woman walked in. Now, rating that pregnancy, I saw it was around 7, 8 months. In fact, it was that pregnancy is obviously at the third trimester. And that one was heavily pregnant. And she walked in, and I looked at him and I looked at the lady and I asked him, who is this? And he was like, don't worry, I'm so sorry. And this is not going to stop our wedding, and blah, 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 and blah. And I woke up. Can you imagine? I woke up and my auntie was just running the noodles. And I told my auntie, I said, I don't understand. I don't know whether to call this a dream. I was praying and I don't know if I slept off, but I wasn't feeling sleepy. I don't just know what happened, but that was exactly what I saw in a sitting room where I was just testing different wedding gowns. A heavily pregnant woman walked in, and I asked him about the lady, who she was, and he wasn't giving me any good info. He was just telling me that he's so sorry that this is not going to stop our wedding, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And guys, that was it. I woke up. I told my auntie. She tried to reassure me, like This is just God giving you a sign. And I wasn't still okay. I just wanted more. That point where you are seeing the red flag, but you just want God to come in you just wanted God to come to you and say, Kasarachi, nah, hear me, he's not the one. Like, God is giving you all the signs you need to know that this person is not the one, but you still want him to come, like, sit down with you and tell you, oh, Kasarachi is not the one. That was the level I was. I didn't want to accept the fact that he's not the one. I was living in this falsehood of, you know, I told my auntie, I said, no, this is just a mere dream. She told me that this is not a mere dream. There is more to this. We can't even call this a dream. I mean, who sleeps for how many minutes, and who prays and on the process starts sleeping and dreaming? So I didn't know whether to call that a trance, dream, or whatever. I didn't know what to call it. So I decided to dig more. It was during Christmas time, and being that I am working in a place where I have more of my Muslim sisters, okay, so they gave me the opportunity to travel. I think I was given 10 days, okay, to travel, that they will cover me up and all that. And I had my public PH and all that. So I decided everyone in my house in Kano travel to the East then. But I mean, I didn't want to travel, and while others were still enjoying, I would tell them I'm going back to Kano. So I just told myself that I was not going to travel. But even if I would travel, I wasn't going to travel because it was Christmas, and by the first week, we are supposed to be traveling down to the east for the traditional wedding. So I said, let me just endure all this and wait for the first week. Okay, since by then I've already applied, and I was given, since it's my wedding stuff and all that, they gave me my annual leave by then. So I'll have more time and all that. So I decided to stay back while others traveled for Christmas. So while I was at home, I was so bored, like only me at home, no one to talk to. I was even off duty, from kitchen to room, from room to this, from in fact, and I'm not that kind of person that have much friends. I'm not the outgoing type too. So it was just boring. I decided to, okay. While at it, something dropped in my mind. Travel to Abuja. I was like, what am I traveling to Abuja to do? The date has been fixed. I mean, why don't I? And the thing said, I said, travel to Abuja. I told my auntie, and she said, if your spirit is telling you this to travel, and you've tried to counter it, and you're still having this same feeling of traveling and all that, please excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me, please. Let me get something. Where is my bag? All right, guys, I'm back. So sorry, I want to take water. So, my answer was like, if your spirit is telling you, if you're having this conviction in you that there is need for you to travel, why don't you, travel and, you know, just travel? So I decided to travel to Abuja. I traveled to Abuja. I told him I was coming to Abuja. I was against it. Like, no, 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 no. The date has been fixed already. Why don't you just wait? Blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I told him I want and that I'm bored and all that, that I needed to come and at least see who to talk to and all that, since I'm not even, in fact I told him I regretted asking them to give me the public holiday and all that, you know. And he said okay, after much, he said okay, you can come. And the day I came into Abuja, he told me that he was traveling for a business trip. That was on the 24th of December. And I was like, who travels for a business trip? Okay. All right, sis. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I said who traveled for a business trip on 24th of December. I mean, it's funny. Like, who does that? People, some of the markets in Nigeria do close. Like I know of Alaba markets. I don't know if they still do that now. They close during the Christmas season, especially 24 and 25th of December. I also know that on Onitsha main market they do close. So where are you going to buy goods at this time? I mean, which business runs during this holiday and all that? I mean, of all days too, 24th of December. It's funny. So it was like a company, he got a contract from a company, and then they just paid him money into his account and all that. I said, okay. So he packed his things. And I have my own spare key, obviously. So he packed his things and then packed into his car and was about driving out. I was like, Oga, why are you taking or are you traveling to Lagos with your car or that or what? I thought you book a flight or even going through road transport. So why do you want to go? He said he wants to go and park his car in the garage. I said, the garage and the estate where you're living, which place is safer to park your car? And he said he preferred to park it in the garage. I said, okay. He um left. He packed his things and left and fam. But before he left, something happened. He was sleeping and the phone was ringing. I didn't know whether to take the phone to him. That call has been coming consistently and all that. And I was like, let me go and give him this phone. I don't know what is happening. I don't know if this person is okay because I think a normal person, when you call someone once and then you call the second time and the person didn't pick your call, you allow the person to be. Probably that person is sleeping, resting, or busy. And I'm sure when the person sees your call, the person will return the call. So the call continued. The phone rang severally, and I was like, let it not be like someone is in danger and I'm here. So I picked the phone. Immediately I picked the phone because I was charging it. He was sleeping in the bedroom. I was in the sitting room watching a movie and the phone was charging in the sitting room. So I picked the phone. I removed the phone from the plug and wanted to go give him the phone. And a message popped up. You know how you see this message on phone, like at the top of the phone. Thank you, Pinky. Thank you. At the top of the phone, a message popped up, and the message was like, I know she's in the house. If you don't come over to my place now, I'm going to come to that house and create a scene. That was the message. Hey, I said, who is this one that knows I'm in the house and will come and create a scene? So those stuff where you see something and the thing will trigger you to search more. That was my case. Like, I am this kind of person that even if you're my friend, I don't pick your phone. I don't like going through people's phone. I don't like going through people's phone. All right. I just feel, your phone should be your private thing and you can only give someone access to it. But I don't know what pushed me. And several messages. about even pregnancy and all that. God, I became so weak. Sister, my heart, I became so weak. Like, I didn't know what to say. I didn't even know whether to take the phone back to him or, I didn't know what to do. So I read several messages about pregnancy, and he reminded me of the dream or trance or whatever it was that I had earlier about a pregnant lady coming into the sitting room while I was testing my wedding. All right, thank you, sis, thank you very much, thank you for stopping by. God bless you. Thank you. So it reminded me of that dream or trance or whatever. So I I was dumbfounded. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know whether to I didn't know what to do, to be frank. So I picked the number. See, sometimes love will make you do stupid things. Ordinarily. Me. So I called the lady. Yeah, I know you will say stupid, right? Yeah, I did it. I did it. I called the lady and she told me she was so, we discussed, we talked. I just believe this one thing. I mean, I am not going to kind of start threatening a lady because, the lady is interfering in my relationship because, see, it's the man that walked up to the lady in the first place. If the man hadn't talked to the lady, there would be no connection. That's the truth. That's my belief. Okay? If the man hadn't talked to the lady, they wouldn't have connected. So I we talked. We talked. And she was like, she's sorry, she didn't know he's planning anything, wedding and all that. And she was even telling me about pregnancy again. That he's so sorry, he didn't know he was planning anything, wedding, blah 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 blah. And we ended the call, and like she's sorry, she's not going to interfere in a 5 years relationship and all that. Now, this was all right. Bye, sis. Bye. Thank you very much. Bye. Thank you. So that he was not going to interfere. She was not going to interfere in the relationship and all that, and that was it. So far, the next day I decided to leave. At this point, I've gotten all the info I need. I don't need anybody prophet to come and tell me that, see, this is a no-go area for you. Everybody has a deal breaker in relationship, and I just had to tell myself that, see, this relationship has got to end. I had to advise myself. I didn't need anyone to tell me that, see, with all this info you have gotten, just let this go. Let this relationship go. Let it be like you people never met. So I was leaving that house that day. I was looking around and I told myself, this is not your home. I cried. I told myself, this is not your home. Just go. I left. To be frank with you, I never had issue with that lady. We talked so well. She didn't say any bad word to me or me saying the same thing. No, we talked like normal human being, having a good discussion. So I left. I entered road transport and I was crying all through. I cried from Abuja to Kano. And Abuja to Kano is about 6 hours journey. I cried because I knew it was over. I knew there was no how I could cope with a man who is already impregnating ladies, even a lady before a marriage, or who is seen with different women and all that. I knew there was no how that will work. I can't even lie to it was not at that point. I couldn't lie to myself that see, he's going to change. No, at that point, I told myself I wanted God to show me signs that this man is or is not. And he has shown me everything I need to know, ranging from the dream or the trance down to the fact that I've heard calls from his friends and people around him telling me about his, issue with women and all that, coupled with the fact again that, I saw what I saw. So I left. I got to Kano. That same lady called me and she was like, "Are you in Kano?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Thank God for Johnny Mercy." And that was how we ended the call. About, I came back to Kano. I think it was around 4. Around 6, he called me and he was just nagging. You insulted this person. You called her a whore. And at the point I was like, is he talking to me? Called who a whore? For what? Were you not the one that walked to this lady? I know that there will be no connection with you and the lady. If you hadn't talked to her or walked to her first, she wouldn't have had her as in connected with you. I just believe that you see this issue of side chick and whatever is useless for a woman. I can't see myself fighting because of a side chick or side chicken. No. The truth is that if there is someone to fight, it should be your husband, not the lady. Because if your husband hadn't connected with the lady, she wouldn't have been a side chicken. If her husband has not gone to talk to the lady, she wouldn't have. Hello. Thank you, sis. Thank you very much. Thank you. If your husband hasn't don't have any connection with a lady, I don't see any lady becoming any side chicken or whatever. So at this point, fam, he said I called the lady a whore, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, and he ended the call. At this point, nothing he was saying that was making sense to me. Okay? Because I mean, I've gotten everything I wanted. Like, I've gotten all the proof I need. I don't need anyone to tell me again that, see, you need to leave this relationship is not working. I don't need anyone to tell me that this is not a relationship anymore. And if you venture marry this man, you're going to be in a hot mess. Now, this is the person that wouldn't want you to apply lip gloss, doesn't want you to apply lipstick, doesn't. But if you see this lady I'm talking, this lady has tattoo on her body. Her makeup is on point. But that same man doesn't want me to apply, in fact, no lipstick, nothing. Just make your hair look good, but don't apply any colors. But you're going ahead. If you see another woman that is wearing colors, you will like her. So, fam, the call ended and that was it. On the 4th of January, when I even stayed 2 weeks to my wedding, it was not even up to 2 weeks because the child was supposed to be on the 15th. On the 4th of January, I can never forget that day in my life. It was such a day. At about 8, I usually resume night duty. The normal resumption time is around 9. So at about 8:10 or 8:15 or so, I was on my way to work. The normal means of transport in Kano is tricycle. Mostly, they use tricycle mostly. So I was in a tricycle going to work when he called me and he told me that the relationship was over. Now, I knew that their relationship was over even before that day. But when he said it was over at this point, it hit me so hard. It was as if I'm hearing that word for the first time. I cried again. I cried. I got to work that day. In my profession, I've never been that careful. What I mean by I've never been that careful is I don't mean that I'm not careful when taking care of people. No, that's not what I'm asking. You know, this thing that you are in emotional stress, you need to be extremely careful because you are dealing with human. You're not dealing with an animal. You're dealing with who to take care of. You have people that are lying down on the bed. They are sick. They are waiting for you to take care of them. So you have to be careful before you give somebody an injection that is supposed to be given intravenous. You not give it to that person, or rather, is it most injections that are even intravenous? Some of them also goes intramuscular. But the worst is you using an injection of intramuscular and giving it through the vein. I was so careful. That night, I will never forget that night in my life. I was on duty alone in a ward. I had patients to take care of. I was going through a lot emotionally. It wasn't easy. I came into duty and I told myself already that, see, no matter what you've heard, just know one thing, that you have lives to take care of this night. So put whatever you've heard behind you and walk. So when I came into the ward, they handed me over a patient who was at the last stage of cancer. I think at that point was, the doctor has come to review him, and it was just at that stage that you're just looking up to God because you've done everything you're supposed to do. So before I came, he has gotten all his medication. He was on IV, he was on drip when I came. So I just took over and I went to the nurse's station to kind of go through because I've been off duty. I think that was my first night duty. I've been off duty for like some days, so I needed to go through, over and over again after they handed me over. I needed to go through back to those days I wasn't on duty, what happened and all that, and to catch up with the present. So I was going through, sorted out those that needed night medication, and was going through their record, the new admissions and all that. I was just basically going through everything, and I was called. It was just not up to 20 minutes I came in. I took over there. So the evening staff has gone and I was called. I was still in this, in fact, I was in the station going through, I've just started sorting out the medications, and he wasn't even on any medication that night, to be frank. He wasn't on any medication. The medications have been served. They just connected the IV fluid and all that for him. And I was called to come and check the patient. And when I got there, he was gone. So I had to call the doctor to, certify him dead. Okay. And he did all that and left. In nursing, there's what we call last office. Okay. This last office has to do with aligning the body of the deceased in such a way that there's another thing we call regomotive. Now, what happened in that regomotive? I'm going to explain it. It's just like, once the body gets very cold, it becomes so stiff that if that person's hand was like this and you didn't align it very well, for you to be able to align it very well again, that means you have to break that hand to align it very well. So you make sure you align the body very well. Immediately that person has been certified. You understand me? So after the doctor certified him, I had to do what we call last office, and I explained it. It's just about aligning the body of a disease in such a way that is in a very good shape and position. No part of the body is hanging or whatever. So I was doing that. I had to, and you have to screen. You have to screen the patient. By screening, that's what we call screen. Okay, it's just you covering, irrespective of the fact that when still alive or gone, you have to make sure you provide privacy, respect for the dead. So I had to screen him, and I was doing that. Okay, so while I was doing that, with a heavy heart, obviously, I mean, I'm just resuming duty, and my patient is, combined with what I was already going through even before I got to work and all that. And it was so heavy. I was doing that. My heart was so heavy. And I had this voice. See, when people say they hear voice, I'll be like, I beg, explain me, what's that? But for the first time in my life, I had a voice. And this voice was so loud. And it said, this is the only person that doesn't have, as in the voice was kind of talking about the disease, that he is the only person that doesn't have hope in life again. And that voice said, you are alive, you are healthy. Why are you acting as if you're hopeless? And at this point, to be frank, I was hopeless. Should I say I was hopeless? I was just asking myself, how do I start all over again to build a relationship? It's not easy. It's not easy at all. How do I start all over again to build a relationship? It's not easy. And this is what someone was, I think it's Rosie that had a live video today, and she was talking about why do people stay in abusive relationship. Sometimes the thought of starting all over again keeps one at the point. At that point, it was not his action that wanted to keep me. It was, how do I start all over again? And the relationship ended. I cried. See, when you're going through this, cry if you must cry. Most of my relatives didn't know why it ended. Some of them knew there was a wedding in plan going on, and all of a sudden there was no wedding. None of them knew. I just kept mute. The only people that knew what happened were my nuclear family, extended family. As of then, didn't know what was happening. So I cried. Sometimes I wake up and I cry like a baby. My brother, may God bless that man. He was just everything, everywhere, at every time. He was just there to, he held me by the hand. He helped me walk out of the state I was then. And fam, that was how it all ended. It's okay to cry. If you must cry, cry. But don't ever think of hurting yourself because nobody is worth it. If I had gotten married to that man, I would have regretted it all the way. Yes, I would have regretted it. I'm so thankful of the man I'm married to. Someone who will love you will not give you stress emotionally. Someone God has made for you will not put you through emotional stress. So, you see all those ones that are there to run in and out of your life, they are the ones that will give you stress. That was how it all ended. I cried. And as of the time, like if you watch my previous live, like that of yesterday, as of the time where these ladies were asking me, Auntie Nose, are you not married yet? And all that. It was about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But they didn't know about the wedding coming up. Okay, they didn't know about the wedding. So they weren't asking me because of the cancelled wedding or something. No. As of the time they were asking me, they asked me this question. It was about 3 weeks after Abby. Okay, it was around 1st of February because I was just paid. I've withdrawn the money for my savings into my savings account, and then I had left this particular line in the account, and I wanted to go and withdraw and go shopping. So it was around first week of the next month, and it was see. Don't allow any pressure, whatever pressure, family pressure, peer pressure, whatever it is, to push you into a relationship that will make you sit down and say, oh, why did I go into this? Because they will not be there. They won't be there tomorrow. As for my mom, remember, if you watched that live yesterday, I also said something about my problem was the fact that how do I communicate to my mom, a hypertensive person? My mom is hypertensive. How do I let her know that the wedding she has been planning, obviously told her friends about, was not going to hold anymore? It was a big problem to me, okay? Because I didn't know how to tell her. I didn't know how to tell her the wedding was over, or rather, the wedding won't hold again. It wasn't easy, to be frank. But anyhow, thank God. Whatever happened, happened. I somehow summoned courage to talk to my mom. I told her about it. I started this way. I was like, would you want me to get married? And this place is becoming sunny somehow. But I'm almost ending the live. So let me just finish it. So I told my mom, I said, would you want me to get married and tomorrow I start running back to your house? Or you hear someone telling you, or someone will come and tell you that my husband is hitting me, or you hear that I am now my husband now has a second wife or something. Or she said no. I said okay. So if the relationship or if the marriage you are planning is what will make me to go through that stress, will you like me to continue with it? She said no. And I told her that see, this is not going to hold again. And she said okay. That the most important thing is my happiness and nothing else. And that was it, guys. That was it. That was how it ended. Today I'm married. My husband is not perfect because I'm not perfect either. But I'm married to a man who compliments me, who supports me in any way, who wants me to get to that level. He's always helping me this week. And I'm happy. And I'm using this story as an advice to you out there, no matter what you're going through. Just know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Whatever you're going through now will not determine your future, will not determine your tomorrow. Weeping may last for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And that was my case. That was my case. That was my case. Now, did I also tell you that at a point where I was planning for my wedding, for my real wedding, because that was obviously a fake wedding, he came somehow, because after everything, I just had to block him everywhere. See, I'm not that person that will come and be friends. Let's be friends. Sorry. No, I don't pretend. I'm not good at pretending. If it didn't end in this thing, let everything end. Kwata kwata. There is no need of pretending that, okay, since we didn't end up together, we can be friends. Friends for what? No, don't ever make that mistake. Friends for what now? So there was no need of any friendship anywhere. We ended it. I blocked him everywhere because I don't want anything to remind me of him at all. Someone who would just leave you stranded 2 weeks to your wedding want to be your friend. For what? What are we friends for? What are the friends thing for? There was no need for it. So it's better it ended and everybody walk away. All right. So fam, that was how it's all ended. And when I was about preparing for this, my wedding, I got a lot of calls. I don't even know if it was a pastor he was using. That one called me and said, and God told, I said, Pastor, God told you, and God told me a different thing. So should I follow the one God told you, or should I follow the one? Should I follow what God said to you or what He said to me? And I don't know whether he was using a pastor, and the pastor was like, and God said, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, he was having issue with the lady he left me for or something. I don't care. I didn't get any contact, so I didn't know what was happening. But then the pastor was talking about things like God telling him that him is not my husband, so I don't even want to use that word. So I told the pastor, I said, please tell God that I've chosen another person, that I don't want him anymore. Okay. And at this time too, I don't know how, probably he knew I blocked him, so he had to use another line to call me, blah blah blah. I received the call. I was like, am I trying to throw everything we shared away? Hello. You see those people that will not, one, they are just on and off in your life. Please, off them completely. They are not with you. They are not against you. In fact, I can't even say they are not against you. Here, today they are with you. Tomorrow they are no longer there. So fam, that was how it all ended. And I thank God that relationship didn't lead to marriage. I just bless God that it didn't, because it would have been something else. I'm going to share the funny way I met my husband. Remember, I said I'm on annual leave, so I have 40 days. 40 days to stay at home. I don't want it to be boring, so I'm going to be doing more on live stream from time to time. In fact, I've made up my mind that at least I'll be doing live stream like my sister. He is, and he was even trying to come back. How do I want to throw away what we have shared for years? You didn't know we shared something for years when you told me it was over. You didn't know we shared something for years when you impregnated another lady and all that. So my sister, that was how it all ended. 2 weeks. Was it up to 2 weeks? It wasn't up to 2 weeks. The wedding was supposed to be on the 15th. And on the 4th, he's called it a quit. So it was just basically 11 days to the supposed whatever. And then, no, you know, that kind of person that they will not leave you. They will not stay with you. They are just off and on. You don't know whether they are with you. You don't know whether they are against you. Today they are off. Tomorrow they are on. That was the kind of person he is. He didn't want another person to be close to me. He didn't want another man to come close to me. And then he didn't want to man up and all that. Well, I left him, and here I am today. I'm happy, so happy that that relationship didn't end to marriage or didn't end in marriage, because it would have been so disastrous. It would have been a mistake that even my children would be so mad at me that I made. I'm just happy. And I bless God for everything. I want to use this to thank everyone that stood by me during that trying time of my life. Like I knew I had people then. My auntie, I'm going to bring her to this channel one day. That woman is amazing. She was there all through. Because the story is, I'm even going to share one story soon. I'm going to share a story of how I learned how to cook. Nobody taught me how to cook. I'm going to share that story very soon. It had to do with the fact that I didn't live with my mom. Okay, I was the last born. I'm the last born rather. After 10 years, my mom stopped giving birth. The beautiful me here decided to comfort. So I came, last born thing. I was disturbing and all that. I had to go live with my brother. And my brother don't know how to cook. My brother will cook rice and beans, mix them all together at the same time and put it on fire. Who does that? And then the rice will become pap and the beans will still be standing gidigba. So I'm going to also gist. I'm going to also gist you all about that. Like, I'm going to gist you about how I even learned how to cook the small one I know how to cook, and to the extent of having a channel that is about food and all that. So fam, that was how it ended. My auntie stood by me during that time. She's so amazing. Like, sometimes I was working, or rather working with the government, then earning money obviously to take care of myself. But this woman will still go shopping for me with her money. In fact, she made me forget what I was going through as of then. So I'm going to bring her up one day in this channel, obviously. So fam, that was what happened to me, and that was it. That was it. That was it. That was it. This is my story. And this is to encourage you out there who feels, I mean, you don't have something might have happened to you that you feel that, oh, you're not going to come out of this, or you don't have hope. I want you to know that there is hope. Sometimes God throws away the bad to bring the good. Okay, sometimes something happen for the good to come. You might be seeing a particular thing as the best for you, but God is not seeing that thing as the best for you. So He has, yes, so so my sister, I'm the baby of the house, and I was so stubborn, like stubborn, so stubborn, like I was disturbing my mom. And the truth is that I think I'm going to share that. Was almost heading to menopause, so she didn't need all those disturbance I was giving her. She didn't need all those disturbance I was giving her. So they had to send me, bundle me to go and stay with my brother. I'll share that story. Maybe today is Friday. Maybe on Monday again, I will share that. Yes, Mama and kids, I know you're the one. Thank you, sister. So that was it. How I learned how to cook and all that. So in one of the videos, I think it's going to be a live video, since my channel is about food. I think the live stream will help me express myself, talk about things that I want to talk about, and all that. So that's just it. That was just all that happened. And here we are today. Happy. Yes, I'm happy that I didn't go through that way, because I don't know what my life would have become. It would have been disastrous, to be frank. And I'm happy that things happened the way it did. Even though to me then it was as if my whole life was crumbling. But I thank God that it ended the way it ended. And God is awesome. God is awesome. Whatever you're going through, just know that He's awesome. He sees it all. He can never fail you. Just know that. Okay. So fam, this is where we are ending this today. Thank you very much. My battery is about to shut down. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you, God bless you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for the love. Thank you for everything. Thank you, and God bless you all. Bye bye.